The Supreme Court on Tuesday, May 22nd, dismissed the petition seeking a review of its December 11, 2023 verdict that upheld the abrogation of Article 370, which granted special status to Jammu and Kashmir. A five-bench judge, led by Chief Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, considered the pleas in chambers and rejected requests for an open court hearing. The bench, also comprising Justices Sanjeev Khanna, B.R. Gawai, Suryakant, and A.S. Bopanna, since retired in its May 1st ruling, said, and I quote, "Having pursued with the review petitions, there is no error apparent on the face of the record. No case for review under Order 47, Rule 1 of the Supreme Court Rules 2013. The review petitions are therefore dismissed." It also rejected permission to appear and argue in person, a request from various petitioners. Hello and welcome. This is Akanksha and you're watching HW News English. Let's first understand the Supreme Court's verdict on abrogation of Article 370. The petitions were filed by Awami National Conference, Jammu and Kashmir, People's Democratic Party CPIM leader Mohammad Yusuf Tarigani, Jammu and Kashmir High Court Bar Association and lawyer Muzaffar Iqbal Khan. A five-bench judge led by Chief Justice D.Y. Chandrachud reviewed the petitions and pleas in the chambers and denied requests for an open court hearing. According to the South Force reports, on December 11, the court had upheld the centre's 2019 decision and mandated assembly elections in Jammu and Kashmir by September end this year. Alongside the restoration of statehood at the earliest, the bench emphasized that Article 370, incorporated in the Indian Constitution in 1949, was a temporary provision affirmed by the President of India authority to revoke the measure in absence of Constitution Assembly of the erstwhile state, whose term is expired in 1957. In a landmark decision following a 16-day hearing, the five-bench judge Constitution Bench settled a long-standing debate over Article 370. The bench delivered three concurring judgments affirming that abrogation of Article 370 that provided Jammu and Kashmir a unique status upon its accession of the Union of India in 1947. Justices since retired Sanjay Kishan Kaul and Sanjeev Khanna also issued separate but concurring opinions on the matter. The court stated that erstwhile state had no element of sovereignty after the instrument of accession and the 1949 proclamation adopting the Indian Constitution. It had also held that Article 370 was a feature of asymmetric federalism and not sovereignty. Chief Justice D.Y. Chandrachud noted that Solicitor General Tushar Mehta's assurance that Jammu and Kashmir statehood would restore, excluding Ladakh, which remains a union territory. While splitting the state into two union territories, the government provided for the Legislative Assembly only for Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. The CJI in the verdict has said, and I quote, "In the view of statement, we do not find it necessary to determine whether the reorganization of state of Jammu and Kashmir into the two union territories of Ladakh and Jammu and Kashmir is permissible under Article 3. However, we uphold the validity of the decision to carve out that Union Territory of Ladakh in the view of Article 3A, read with explanation 1, which permits forming a Union Territory by separation of territory from any state." Now, let's first recall the verdict in 2019. The court examined the validity of Constitution application of Jammu and Kashmir, Order CO 272, dated August 5, 2019, which applied all provisions of the Indian Constitution to Jammu and Kashmir and modified the term Constituent Assembly in Article 370 to Legislative Assembly. The court ruled that the concurrence of the state government was not necessary for the President to exercise power under Article 371D to apply constitutional provisions to Jammu and Kashmir. The issuance of CO 272 was not deemed mala fide, thereby validating its application to Jammu and Kashmir. Additionally, the Supreme Court upheld the validity of CO 273, which abrogated Article 370, stating that the President's declaration was culmination of interrogation process and valid exercise for the power. Chief Justice D.Y. Chandrachud emphasized that the Constitution is a complete code of constitutional governance and the President had the authority to declare Article 373 cease to operate without Constituent Assembly's recommendation. The continuous exercise of the power under the Article 370 by the President indicated an ongoing process of constitutional integration. The petitioners had argued that Article 370 could not be amended without the State Constituent Assembly or concurrence, which ceased to exist in 1957, and claimed that the provision had attained preeminence in its absence. However, the court rejected this argument, affirming that the temporary nature of Article 370. As per reports, Justice retired Sanjay Kishan Kaul, in his concurring opinion, stated that the purpose of Article 370 was to gradually bring Jammu and Kashmir on par with other Indian states. He also ordered that establishment of an impartial Truth and Reconciliation Commission to investigate human rights violation by the state and non-state actors since least 1980. That's all for this news report. Till then, keep watching HW News English and also download our app HW News Shorts for the latest news and updates.
Stay ahead with our cutting-edge news app. Instantly access the latest shorts in just 1 minute and breaking news in just 50 words. Download now for a smarter, faster news experience.